Ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to Success Documentary Program, and today we would like to welcome Mr. Lokendra Singh.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Lokendra
You're
Singh,
welcome.
You are welcome as well. You have the pleasure to have you today in one of our Success Documentary episodes.
Same here. You're most
Yeah.
welcome.
Yeah, the pleasure is shared. So, as a beginning, we would like to know more about you. Who's Mr. Lokendra Singh? How were you begin? How did you start?
I started my journey from a very middle class family. I did my graduation in science. Then I had post graduation degree in management. Then I joined a company in India, and I worked for that company for 2 good years. That company would deal in metal and agro commodities. So I had my training during those 2 years. Then I was transferred to Africa under different operations by that company itself. So I have been posted in Africa for more than 8 years at different locations. I've been in Ethiopia, Congo, Cameroon, and a few countries to name it.
It was a big experience.
Yeah, it was a big experience. So during my stint with that company, with that job, I have acquired certain skills in project management, in setting up projects, and dealing, handling big operation in Africa. So in 2011, then I thought that I should, be part of that entrepreneurship process. Yeah, so in 2011, I've started things at my own.
So that's how you feel that you got the enough experience to start up by yourself, your own business?
Yes, I looked for some financial partners. They helped me to start things because you need finance to start business. And I had some colleagues of mine, who joined me, and we were together to take it forward. And we started with a small, operation. We started with metal trading, metal scrap trading, and then we used to buy from African country, and we would sell in India, Middle East, in Japan, Far East country. So that's how we started. And after a couple of years, we set up a small metal recycling unit in Africa itself, and we started manufacturing copper billets, aluminum alloys.
So you started improving yourself.
Yes.
How much time it took you to improve yourself from one level to another?
First manufacturing facility we set up in 2013. So it took us 2-3 years. Okay. So that was a not big investment. That was kind of $1 million to $2 million investment. So that's how we started. Then in later part we added a couple of manufacturing facility like that, non-ferrous recycling one. And at later part, let's say 2018, we set up a cement plant in Gabon.
So let's talk a little bit about, let's move from India, from Africa, from all the places where you had your work or and also where you started your business outside UAE. How did you think about your country after moving to all these places, or after visiting all these places, or after all this big, huge experience in the same field? From where you get the idea of UAE? What is the reason behind that?
See, UAE, our most of clients, buyer, supplier, they have their representative office here. So we wanted to be, close to them, so that we have access to, we have better coordination with our clients. That's the one thing. Second thing is that Dubai is a place that provide you access to global market. Okay, so by being here, it's a hub of the business.
Yeah, of the business also.
And apart from that, business advantage, individually also, I wanted to be in this place because quality of life is really good. And if I keep on traveling, so I want my family to be safe back home. if I am not around, so which is the place you have, one of the best education for kids,
Yes.
and one of the best healthcare system,
Exactly.
and law and order is, is unmatched. You won't have that kind of, peace of mind once you're here. There's no crime, and so that was the prime factors which brought me here. And once I'm here, then I realize those advantages. I mean, it helps me a lot, because being here, I'm really happy that I can control my business in a better way.
Yeah.
And plus here you have pool of skilled manpower professionals, and plus technology access also you have. So there there are so many factors. It's difficult to. There's so many regions.
To give you the idea to come here. So we would like to know more about your business. We would like to know more about your company. Tell us in details. What are you doing exactly?
So what we do, like here in UAE, this company, Metanoa DMCC, and we have one more company in DAFSA, Dubai Airport Free Zone. That's Metanoa FZCO. So here what we're doing as of now, we are doing trading of metal and project machinery. So what we do, we procure project machinery from India, China, wherever that machinery is available, and we export it to different buyers who are based in Africa or other countries. So we supply them machinery plus technology. Also we supply them. We help them to set up this project. That's one thing. And we procure we sell product from our own manufacturing facilities. So we market. That's a marketing office for our plants, also our manufacturing facility, as well as we source that products from different other party also. That's called third party trading. So we buy it from third party companies and we sell it to our existing buyers. Apart from that, we have a cement plant in Gabon. There's a place called Gabon in Central Africa. So cement plant, cement we sell locally there. So what we do, we supply clinker. I mean, we will be supplying clinker for that plant from this company itself. We'll be sourcing clinker is raw material for cement. So we need to procure it from Middle East or Far East countries, and we send it to there. So that facility also this company will provide to cement plant. And as I told you earlier, that we have non-ferrous metal recycling manufacturing facility as well. So we produce copper billets, aluminum alloy billets, and we supply that to big companies like Toyota in Japan, Maruti in India, through middlemen.
So you are doing a lot of things.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yes. So that's, as of now, that's what we are doing.
Inshallah, we will speak about this in the future plans.
Yeah.
So, of course, during this huge experience you have, there were some projects or there were some things which gave you push in your business. What are these things?
Once we have that recycling project in Africa, so that help us to control quality, to supply our customer, in a better way. We were at sourcing end, and we could control the quality, whatever is sellable in international market.
Quality and
yes. So it was
delivery at the time.
Yeah, so it helped us to have that trust with our client, with our buyers,
Of
international
course,
market, because we were the one who were producing. We understand the product in a better way.
Yeah.
So it helped us to help us in some way to procure it from third party, because we were very sure of, we had our staff positioned in different locations, so we were able, even if we were buying from third parties the same product, so we were able to supervise this properly. We could give them quality feedback, so that helped us to make a name in short time span of time. That help us to make a name, and that develop that trust with our clients.
The trust of the client is what you need, so you can carry on your business. So of course, Mr. Rukendra, we all dream, we all have dreams in this life, and our dreams never stop. It has no specific age, it has no specific time. And of course, Mr. Rukendra also still having dreams for the future, some plans. Share them with us. You mean
in my vision?
What is your vision in the next 5 years, for example?
In next 5 years, we have clear-cut vision. We want to have as many as possible manufacturing facilities in different part of the world, especially in Africa and India, wherever. Then we want to consolidate all the activities under single brand name. So what I'm planning that in time to come, we would like to have a big manufacturing facility here, so that we'll be importing raw material here in UAE and semi-finished product. And then we'll be, we'll go a step ahead. We'll be making a finished product here, and with the single brand name, we will market it. We will sell in Middle East market, Southeast market, as well as Europe, Japan, wherever we can sell that. So that is my plan for the time to come. Whatever product we can sell locally in Africa, we will do that. Like cement, you cannot import. Cement, you have to sell it locally. Cement is steel. But especially non-ferrous metal, copper, aluminium, brass, such things. So we would like to, import it here in form of semi-finished or raw material. Then we will manufacture it here, good quality, so that we have a, proper brand.
I wish you the best of luck. Inshallah, we'll come back to you next time and it will be done. So, and of course, UAE was having a big role, let's say, in your life, in your business, a big support from the side of this country. Tell us a little bit about this.
See, UAE, even if when I was working for that company, my first job, that company was also controlled from UAE. So I was passing by here. We used to have head office here that time also. So that inspired me that one day if I have my own business, I would be here and I would control that business from here only, because here from you have proper connectivity of flights. And law and order is perfect. I mean, it's easy also, ease of doing business, and that you have that modern infrastructure, so it helps you to to settle down. Your family also happy. They're also ease of living their lives. So there's so many things. So UAE always, it was in my mind when I started business. So we wanted to take some time because we wanted to set up that business at back end before we come here. So that 2 years back we thought it's the right time and we came here. And now we are taking it further. I mean, we are in a better position since we are here, even if during this lockdown. So we were able to manage our business because we have our base here. So we were able to meet our clients here who are based here. Even if we are selling some product in Europe, but their office is here. They have their representative here. So imagine if we were not here, it would be difficult for us to have that kind of coordination with our buyer suppliers. Yes.
So I wish you the best of luck, and inshallah everything will be okay and everything will find from Mr. Lufanda. And by talking about UAE and the help and the support and how much it's helpful for you to control your business from UAE, we would like a small thank you message from your son to UAE rulers.
Oh, I have I have big respect for His Excellency Mr. Sheikh Mohammed and his predecessor also, to have this kind of vision for growth. I mean, it's a role model for all the country, all the cities who they can follow this model. I can see in 20, 30 years, he has changed, this place completely. Abu Dhabi, I forgot His Excellency in Abu Dhabi also. Yes. Yeah. So all these rulers, they are very progressive. Their commitment for growth, their dedication for the to make people life better.
The best thing is they have like vision for the future, and it's not vision like for 10 years, for 2 years, for 5 years. It's vision now. They just talked about the vision for the next 50 years.
Yeah, see, short term as well as to have this kind, to develop this kind of modern infrastructure. Yeah. It's a home to 200 people from 200 countries. So it's one of the most cosmopolitan city. I don't see any better place than UAE to stay for somebody, for a professional like me.
This is the reality.
Yes. So it's big thanks. It was not possible had this rulers of the rulers of UAE wouldn't have that visionary leadership. They, they always go for the best. Whether it be product, whether it be, practices, technology, everything is best here. So that's something, and you see the result here. Everything, UAE is leading to. So, leading the world is showing some light. Even if there's difficult time in COVID, people have, they have, here, government has managed this very well. One of the best place to manage this crisis, humanitarian crisis. So it's a very commendable. It's really, one need to appreciate that. And we are more happy. I mean, people here are safest as compared to any other part of the world during this COVID time. So it takes lot of efforts, lot of visions, lot of, commitment, dedications. So definitely they deserve a really, very big appreciation, big thanks from this.
Allah give them the good health and the long life, inshallah, and the more we will be more motivated and more, because they are motivating us, giving us the motivation from the development of the country and the success. We want to be the same. So, Mr. Lukenda, of course, there were some people supporting you in this life. Maybe to whom would like to say thank you today.
Yes, to start with my parents, especially my mother, to instill that dream in you. You need parents are first thing. They, teach you certain things. They tell you what is world around you. So they played a major role. Then my siblings, my mentors, my first employer, he taught me so many things. So, so I'm really grateful to him. Then I got married. My wife, she's also, part of my success story. Without, her contribution, you would not reach, if you're not happy at home. So she also helped me professionally, personally. She take care of me, kids. So as families, one of the family and friends.
Yes,
not to forget some friends also. So all put together, there, everybody has played, his role at different point of time. So big thanks to my family, my parents, my friend, my wife, my mother, and now my kids also. They give me reason to, to go forward.
Of course. So thanks to them, and thank you so much, Mr. Lukenda, for being with us today. It was a real pleasure.
Thank you very much, and you're most welcome.
Thank you so much.
It was nice to talk to you. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being with us today, and see you soon.